lot of people might think this is not art, and I kind of like that. I think that in a weird way, the history of art is always written by not art becoming art. And I remember being like in an art class and seeing this, you know, someone with a grid in front of them and them tracing out the little squares, you know, that classic picture. And they were talking about how, like, painting and also there's always one authoritative perspective, and I wanted to make a display where everyone would see something different, which of course we all have different interpretations, but to actually make that so that everyone does see something different. So I'm trying to make work that isn't really about personal expression, and so this work is almost like a platform for exploring 3D sculpture or 3D animated sculpture, but it's also a kind of reaction to 3D cinema and saying that's not really 3D, it's stereoscopic, and giving people access to that, because I see this as a new medium that Sony or Disney will make 3D something in the future, and that will be very inaccessible to artists. And what I like about the tradition of like Video In and VIVO is this idea of giving artists access to technology or media production and letting them define what the medium means. One of the things that people have remarked about this work is that it is open. So I think of myself not only as an artist, but like an art maker, and align myself more with the maker community and everything from open source software, open source hardware makers. And so this platform has been used in many ways, and one of them is as to facilitate a mentorship, where I'm mentoring two other mentorees, and they're both learning like concrete skills in terms of programming and using the device, but also talking about art in general, talking about their approaches to art, their approaches to interactivity specifically. There's kind of two ways you can go. You can hide the wires and make it look like magic, and I go the other way. I show as much wires as is necessary, because I don't want people to spend too much time on thinking, how does this work? So I try to make it so that it exposes its own working. So even this display, which is only really working when it's spinning, it spins down and allows you to investigate it. You can't get away from the physicality of the medium, and every medium has its own affect and qualities. And so one of the things that's really worked well with this display is the falling snow, which is what it's doing right now. And that's one of the first things I tried out, because it just seemed to work with these big blobby LEDs, and it still works really well. So I often have, because I come at projects from an abstract point of view of more like defining an area of interest or a philosophical bent, I have this kind of content problem at the end. It's like, I built this thing, but what is it actually going to do? And I think that the medium or the material starts to inform the content. I just think artists are in a position to find that vocabulary, and it's almost like their duty, because they do have this position that's maybe a little freer from capitalistic forces or social norms, that they can play with that. Hi, my name is Brady. I'm an artist and art maker. I've made a 3D volumetric display, and it's here at Science World.